Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, well then you have permission to go ahead and lurk. Don't have to say anything at all if you don't want to. We are small but mighty, starting off on a Thursday night. Hopefully more friends will decide to join us because it's better with more friends. You know. Tonight's agenda, we are starting the Sword Impulse Gundam from Seed Destiny. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome. Yes, the Gundam Seed Destiny kit, the Sword Impulse Gundam. It's a Gundam that has big swords. Ship swords that are meant to cut through battleships and flying spaceships and such. So we'll work on that. I don't know if this one comes with the beam boomerangs. I don't think this includes the boomerangs, but I know that kit. Oh no, wait, it does. It does have the boomerangs, the beam boomerangs that you might also think are daggers, but they're not. They're boomerang. They're boomerangs, quote unquote. So that is included. So that's good. Gotta have your boomerangs. It's very silly. Very silly to have a beam boomerang. But yeah, good looking kit. Excited to put it together. And of course, I want to hang out with everybody, and chat about things and things. Up on my VODs channel currently is the TCG Card Shop Simulator prologue stream that we did last night. Took a look at that, and I immediately bought the game as soon as the stream was over because I was like, yes, this is the thing that I would like to keep playing. Unfortunately, progress does not transfer, which is a shame. So I will have to start over, and which I have, and I'm about an hour into the game starting over. Things are running better since I know more about what to buy and when to buy it. And I'm expanding my shop through it. So that's been nice. But yeah, let's go to the overhead. I don't know. Let's go to overhead camera here. There we go. We're going to start with the chest. This is a kit from, I believe, 2005. Yes, 2005. So because this is a 2005 kit, we are doing the chest and then the head. And then a thing that happened with the Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny kits, for some reason, is that you build not all of the weapons next. Before you build the feet, the legs, the arms, the waist, it goes chest, head, gun, shield. No reason to do that. I don't know why they do that. They do that. So we will do that as well, because I do tend to go in order. Then we're gonna build the arms, and then attach the gun to one of the arms. Like what? But this kit does do arms and then waist, and the last thing in the main body you build is the legs. And I do find that interesting. And then we'll build the little cockpit, the little flying cockpit thing, because this kit does have It does have a transformation. I wouldn't call it a good one, but it does have a transformation. So we will at least try that and see how that goes. I don't know. But first things first, let's go over here. Let's start putting together our chest here, our nice red chest. You can see there. You can see in the photo above how it looks there. It may get asked later, so I'll tell you right now. As it stands, I will be sometime this month looking at the Shrek DLC for Power Wash Simulator. I have purchased the Shrek pack. So I will be looking at that. Will I be doing it this coming Tuesday? Because it came out today. Will I be doing this Tuesday? No, I will not. Unless plans change dramatically. This is the wrong piece. This is the wrong piece. Okay, I was like, wait, what's going on here? I got the wrong piece out. I need A3. And I pulled the wrong thing out. confused. I got confused. Um, this Tuesday, I will be checking out the game Europa, which will be launching. It may have launched today. I actually don't remember. Hold on. Let me look at Steam. Because I had asked for a code for Europa. Europa, yeah. Did this come out today? There's a demo. Did they push it? I thought it was October 11th. Okay, no, it's coming out tomorrow. Okay. So the game Europa is coming out tomorrow. And I had been offered a code for review purposes or streaming. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. This game looks neat. I would like to play it. They're saying it's a Ghibli, Studio Ghibli inspired and kind of a open world adventure series, but like very casual and kind of like a bloodless game. Is what it had been described to me as, and I thought that sounded interesting. So I was like, "Yeah, all right, I'll check that out." And then I didn't hear from them. I reached out yesterday and heard back late last night because they're UK folks, so it makes sense that there was a bit of delay. Saying yes, we are going to be sending you a code. So it looks like I'm getting a streamer code, not a review code, which is fine. So next Tuesday, I do plan to stream out Europa, and then either the following Tuesday, which would be the 22nd, or the 29th, we'll do Power Wash Simulator. I don't know which one. I think honestly, to me, the 29th feels better because that's close to Halloween, and I don't know, going to a fantasy world to power wash stuff seems like maybe that's the time to do it. And then the Tuesday, or I haven't talked about yet. I need to do C17 and 2 of these, and C19 and 2 of those. Okay. The Tuesday, the 22nd, I would check out the update to what game would I want to check out? I would probably check out the update to Mars First Logistics that I have not checked out yet, that I have been, I don't want to say disinterested. Well, I had a spam bot come through, and we got out of there. And now a thing, hey, if you're a streamer and you're watching this and you don't use Seribot, you got to get in on Seribot. Because not only did Seribot block automatically ban someone that was clearly trying to send a spam message, they also added a term to the blocked terms list when they ban someone. So then things get added to that, which is great. And so Seribot is just building a better Seribot, basically, which is excellent. That's what you want from your spam removing bots. I love not having to ban bullshit on my own. Sometimes it's funny and you're like, oh, I wish you could have seen this. This one wasn't funny. It just said best views on, like, whatever. It's just one of those bots that wants, me to click on a link, I guess, and or message them for the best views, getting my numbers up, which I don't. How do I say this? I do want more people to watch, but I don't want fake people to watch. You know what I mean? Like I would be super psyched if more people found out about the good that is Pat Baer's, like Build a Bear Workshop. Like if more people could find out that I'm doing cool stuff over here and want to come hang out on, while I streamed, that would be great. I would love that. But not at the cost of paying for fake fucking bots to watch the streams. Like, nah, I don't need that. I don't need fake views. I just want more people to know about the good. That's the real thing. All right, let's get this going here. Now that I trimmed this down, this should pop in. For whatever reason, it doesn't want to. There it is. Great. Got that in, got that in. Our arms are secure here. And then we got to do our neck. And the head connector has to go in there. So I now know a few things. Hey, Lord Crashton says, hey, Pat, go here for fake views. And that just has a fake link. Welcome, Lord Crashton. Thank you for renewing your sub. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. Thank Lord Crashington for the continued support. And then Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button, which I will once I put the emotes into chat. I will also hit that dance button. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. And it's just going to keep building like that for a while. We're about to begin a montage. A19 and A20 need to go into this piece here. And there's a sticker that needs to get applied, so we have to apply a sticker. But let me put A19 and A20 in first, and then we'll apply our sticker. A20 goes on this side, A19 goes on the other side. And there's a sticker that goes in the middle. Our first sticker of the kit. There are a few stickers here. Most are color correcting, which makes sense. This should not be a super long build here, but there's a few things we got to do. It's a weird kit because it does have to come apart basically in half to then, quote unquote, transform. Oops, slipped out of my fingers. All right, so we did a little bit of like what I'm doing for the next couple Tuesdays. The last night's stream was a one-off of being a Wednesday. I'm not moving my bonus streams to Wednesday. I am keeping my bonus streams on Tuesday. We just did that as a one-time deal. I'm glad we did it. I need sticker. Okay. Ooh, this one here. Okay. I'm going to do the old make this image bigger so I can look at it. Okay, yes. Okay, so it's that one. It's a sticker that goes along the top there. Okay. Got it. Oops. Come back. There you go. There you go. All right. This is going to be a nice thin sticker that is just color correcting because this piece of plastic would be way too thin. So instead, it's a sticker. But yeah, I thought last night was fun. That prologue was definitely meaty. Gave me a lot to figure out if I wanted to keep playing. And it turns out, yes. I wish I mentioned this on my Discord. I wish that the game allowed you to transfer your progress from the prologue to the main game. But I understand why it doesn't, but I still wish it did. But I did have a good time with it, so I will be continuing it. And we'll stream it again at some point, and I'll show you what my new store is doing. You know, how my new store is going in the future when time is appropriate for said thing. I'm going to just quickly check some of this here with the translation app here. Just really quick for my own peace of mind. Go to the camera and then translate. This says pay attention to direction, seal. Pay attention to direction. Okay. Lord Crash says, I've been playing the first map of Shrek DLC for Power War Simulator, which took longer than I thought since it's a big area in Duluk, the main castle from the first movie. Yeah. So I downloaded it. I have not even loaded the game. I did purchase, I should say, and then download the pack. And then, as I mentioned at the top of the stream, I will most likely be waiting until October 29th to check it out because that's right around Halloween, and that felt appropriate. But I will this month look at it. I did purchase it, even though I do not care about Shrek at all. I have seen the first movie, and I have seen 45 minutes of Puss in Boots on a plane, and that's it. I have not seen the musical. I have not seen the other movie. I do not particularly care about Shrek at all. Whoa. Yep, we gotta get somebody banned here. Wow, lots of bots coming through. Lots of bots coming into the old chatteroony. You hate to see it. I think the second map is from the second movie. Lord Crashington, you'll tell me that again in a couple weeks, I'm sure. I'm sure you'll let me know in a couple weeks what you just said there. I have. This is mostly about there being new content in Power Wash Simulator, a game I like, and it just happens to be Shrek related more than like, oh, cool. Yes, there are a lot of bots lately, Lord Creston. Usually the bots come around, honestly, it comes around TwitchCons because, so this is a thing that is not reported by anyone. This is not evidence that I have. I am not revealing secrets of the trade. I am merely letting you know that there can be a causality linked between the amount of bots increasing and the amount of Twitch employees who have to focus on a live event, because a lot of Twitch staff have to pull double duty. And I am not saying that every Twitch staff member contributes to eroding and getting rid of bots, but I am saying that every convention that happens, all hands are on deck, and other projects kind of fall to the wayside so that they can get the various TwitchCons together quick. And that seems to be why things like, if you have been like, obviously I have never been promised this, but some people out there have been promised like the turnstile on the front page of Twitch, like a spot in a turnstile, a recommended spot. And then it turns out that the month they were supposed to get, or the week they were supposed to get, or the day they were supposed to get happens in and around a con, usually before a Twitch con. And then just nothing happens because their contact was just swamped with other work. And didn't communicate to the right person about it. That has happened a bunch of fucking times. It's a whole thing. All right, we are putting. Is this A22? Let me make sure this is A22 because it's very small. So I was like, is this A22? This is not A22. This is A23. That goes on the head over here. I need A22 over here. Now I got it. I was like, this definitely doesn't feel like the right piece. And then where did that sticker just go? I'm like weirdly frazzled today. My apologies, everybody. I'm like very off today. I don't like that. I don't enjoy that. Oh, here it is. It's on my thumb. It ended up on my thumb. Maybe I didn't get a good stick on there, but I'm putting it over here for now. But yeah, I've been a little off. I was very busy today. I had a lot going on. If you're like, Pat, I was expecting you to talk about a certain thing today, or, did you watch, like the second episode of Dan to Dan? No, my Thursdays are very busy lately, and today got even more busy than my normal Thursdays. I'm going to cover the second episode of Dan to Dan on Saturday. And going forward, I most likely, if I keep talking about the show, it'll be Saturday chats about it and not on Thursday, because I just have a lot on my plate on Thursday. And added to my plate, making it even more of a weird day, was going to the mall. That's right, everybody. I went to a mall today. I cannot tell you exactly the last time I went to a mall. It was probably 10 years ago. I just don't have any reason to go to one. There's only like one mall near me, or near where I used to be in New York. In New York, there was the Manhattan Mall, which is a real mall, and things did happen there, but like not a lot of things happened in that mall. There wasn't like a lot of stores because you just go to stores. Lord Crashington, I went at 11 a.m. on a Thursday, so no. Were there young people there later in the day? Possibly. But at 11 a.m. on a school day, the answer is no. There were not young people there. I don't know. Also, they don't. Here's the fun thing. This mall had a sign. I did not take a photo of this sign. I forgot to. I wish I had. They had a sign basically being like, "Hey, don't just come here if you're not going to shop," which is code for young people do not hang out here in this mall. This is a place of commerce, is basically what they're trying to say with that, because they don't want loiterers. Now, will they enforce that on old people that like to walk in and walk around a mall for exercise? Of course not. They're never going to say that. But yeah, they don't want mall rats. Anyway, why did I go to the mall? Well, my dad had a coupon for Yankee Candle that was going to expire. And there's a Yankee Candle in the mall. So we went to the mall because I was going to carry the candles because they get heavy when you buy a bunch of them. So we went to Yankee Candle in the mall. My mom went to Starbucks and left us to our own devices. That it was going to expire, so we had to go and get what my dad needed, which was 4 candles. We're a house that has not had COVID because all of us can smell them candles. But yeah, what did I observe in a mall? Well, one, when did malls start opening at 11 a.m.? I guess the food court stuff, some of the food court stuff was open earlier. But the mall itself, you could walk in before 11, but the shops didn't open until 11 a.m. Now, back in my day, when I worked in a mall, I worked in 2 different malls. Both of those malls opened at 9:30 in the morning. And then around Christmas time, we opened at 8 in the morning, which was awful because I worked at a import store and no customer was coming. As it was, and I've talked about this before, but when I worked at Charms Animation and Gifts, I would open at 10 a.m. and there would be no one for the first 2 hours, generally. And then, like, occasionally people would come into my store because they were confused by the Hello Kitty stuff in the window, which was to entice them in. So occasionally we would have that. I should say, like, once a week, there was a mom that would come in on a weekday, and she would buy a VHS, because this is VHS, fan subs of Cardcaptor Sakura, because her daughter loved Cardcaptor, and they weren't dubbing the episodes fast enough. So her mom would come in and buy 1 tape a week for her daughter. Now, could she have bought several tapes and just given her daughter 1 tape a week? Sure. But whatever, she came in once a week. I don't care. That was continued sales. I'll take that. But that was the only person that I ever thought I would sell anything to before noon. So being part of a mall, I wish we could have set our own hours. We weren't allowed to. But obviously that was 20 years ago. That was over 20 years ago. Times have fucking changed. And apparently you can just not be open at 10 a.m. and that's fine. I'm worried. I don't know. That mall has some empty stores. It doesn't have as many empty stores as some other people do. It does not have an arcade. I did look to see if it did. I do not believe it has had one for a very long time. Back when GameStops weren't GameStops. Yes, when they were software etceteras and electronics boutiques. And game. No, there was a GameStop. There was a GameStop and an EB in my mall that I worked at. I worked at 2 malls, and both of them had arcades. It was cool. You had Babbage's in the mall. Yeah, we had GameStop and an EB and a software, etc. And then eventually there were just 2 GameStops. There were 2 GameStops because of the merger. I worked there, and it was very fun. But anyway, today we had no trouble getting what we needed. I was just like shocked that they opened at 11. I was like, what the fuck? That's wild. I don't know how late they stayed open to. I imagine I imagine it's can't be later than 7, maybe 8, and probably the movie theater in the mall stays open later. That often is what happens in malls that have movie theaters, is they close all doors except the one by the movie theater. That's how you keep. Well, the mall. Here's the thing, Lord Crashington. We walked in at like 11:15, and you can walk into the mall, and like I said, part of the food court was open. You could go to Starbucks in the food court. But the stores themselves weren't open till 11. So there are mall walkers. It's just there's nothing to do. You just sit and you find a bench or a chair near the thing you want to go to, and then you wait for it to open up, and then you go and buy your candles, and then you get the fuck out of there, because what are we doing there? What is the name of this place? I did take one photo. So let me quickly look up the name of this place. Nope, I don't want that. Almost open Instagram. That's not what I want. Space Battle. Space Battle. Now, 30 years ago, Space Battle would be I don't know, it would be a thing with like pods, and you would be doing like a very bad 3D environment, and you'd be piloting mechs. But in 2024, Space Battle is an airsoft shooting range. It's not even like laser tag. It's a place to shoot airsoft rifles. And in front of it, I'll post this photo in the Discord later, and then I'll post it tomorrow probably on my Twitter. Standing in front of it are 2 giant statues of Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, like movie Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. But it's not a licensed thing. They just got those statues, I guess, because they look cool. So I did not go in to Space Battle, unfortunately. But I do think that was very funny that exists. So I was like, hell yeah, let's go. But yes, again, I did not participate. All right, we're just about done here, panel lining our face, our head here, and then we'll put on the other things we need to put on here. All right, so let's clean that up. Then we'll put on the V-fin, and we'll be done with the head and the chest. We didn't. Oh, you know what? Honestly, didn't panel line the chest yet. We do have to do that. So what am I even fucking saying? I went right from building the chest, start building the head. Like I said, I'm off today. I had a very busy day, and then also included going to the mall. I do know that the most people I saw coming out of a place while we were there was from Dick's Sporting Goods. And that makes a lot of sense for South Carolina, and just in general, that the most popular place in the mall would be Dick's. Very, very obvious to me anyway. Let's see. Let's put it on there. And then we got to put this piece on here. Oops, nope. Come on. All right, so this goes on here, and then this is going to go on this. What is? Come on. There we go. Oh, nope. Jeez. Having all kinds of problems with getting this V-fin on. No idea why, but I am. All right. I don't know why this is being so difficult, but it is. Okay, so being complicated, being annoying. So now we're just going to take a breath here. Going to figure that out. This piece is going to slide in like this. And then this is going to go in like that. So now I should theoretically be able to just press this down and keep the V-fin in place. There we go. I had to start it by pushing it in, and I don't know why that was complicated. Okay, and then it fell off. Great. I was about to say, I don't know why this is complicated, and then it just stopped working. So that's also awesome. Radical. Okay. There we go. Jesus. I don't know why that was such a pain in my fucking ass, but it certainly was. Our Dix was in a plaza with a Target, but moved to the nearby mall in the past couple of months. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I know that this mall apparently had a Starbucks, and then that Starbucks closed, like around the pandemic, and then it reopened very recently. My mom was pleasantly surprised to see that there was a Starbucks there. We also went to Costco. That's not weird. I think going to Costco is pretty fucking normal. I don't think there's anything particularly strange about going to the Costco when you need stuff. And we did need things, so went to that Costco. All right, I'm going to use the rarely used here, brown. Brown is a good marker here for red, and we do have a good amount of red on this kit, so I'll be using the brown marker. My least used marker. It should last me a very long time. I just think it looks good on red. Some people like to use the brown marker on gold. I don't like how that looks. Some people use the black marker on red. I have certainly done that before, but I prefer this method here. And I like to use black on gold and, of course, gray on white or light purple or whatever. Because I think black is too sharp on some of those very light colors. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't do what I want it to do. Oh, we'll put some here. Clean this up. Okay. Hey, I got a couple items here to chat about. We're going to start with some anime news. My condolences for folks that were really amped for Uzumaki. It seems like you can just watch the first of 4 episodes. There are 4 episodes in Uzumaki, and it feels like you can probably get away with just watching the first one. I have not seen a second of this series because I am not a horror guy. I'm not looking for this. I am not looking to have my heart be shattered and my mind blown. So I am not, watching it. But I do know it is a seminal work, and that the adaptation was in trouble and was kind of like mysteriously just like they stopped talking about it, and suddenly they were like, it's coming out. And the first episode was people were really fucking psyched about it. And then the second episode came out and people were like, what the fuck? A lot of people were calling it a bait and switch, which doesn't seem to be the case. Or it's like did another team work on this, which also doesn't seem to be the case. In a now deleted reply, it wasn't a thread by himself, but it was a reply to someone asking about it. The executive producer from Adult Swim, Jason DeMarco, talked about it on Blue Sky. And again, he deleted it because it wasn't like him doing a thread. He was just replying to people. He said, I can't talk about what went down, but we were screwed over. The options were A, not finish and air nothing and call it a loss. B, just finish and air episode 1 and leave it incomplete. Or C, run all 4, warts and all. Out of respect for the hard work, we chose C, which I would say in hindsight, you should have just released. Option B probably sounds like the best call because it sounds like 3 and 4 are going to be along the lines of episode 1. There's some like side-by-sides you can look at to really see if you want to hunt that down, if you haven't checked it out. But yeah, it sounds like that adaptation is got fucked over. Let's see. He also said, I don't think the actions of just one or two people should be the reason it never saw the light of day. So he knows who to blame, but he doesn't say anything. It's fine. We knew this would happen. If after waiting so long, it makes sense, people will be mad. Unfortunately, I can't tell them who was to blame, but someone is definitely at fault. And we all just had to do our best when things imploded. Maybe others would have made different choices. We did the best we could with what we had. But again, a lot of people worked very hard on this, and I didn't think the actions of just one or two people should be the reason it never saw the light of day. Maybe it's the wrong choice. I truly don't know. But those people have a right to be annoyed and disappointed. I'm glad you are digging it. If you could add necessary context, showing them all would be fine. Here's the thing, Lord Crashton, you obviously can't. Like, you, right? Like, you can't put at the beginning, someone high up in Warner Brothers ate our budget. So the episodes 3 through 4 look like, or 2 through 4 look like ass. Like, you can't say that, right? You just can't add that context. Because the context that is being implied here, basically without naming names, someone in Adult Swim or Warner Brothers Discovery fucked over the production, and they're not going to put that in context, you know? Let's see. Last month, he told Vulture the pandemic completely stopped production on the show for close to a year. It was the single biggest impact. Our crew was small, so having even a few members and their families getting deathly ill was a huge blow to the production and our morale. It was very challenging to bring the show back from the dead. Well, Lord Crashington, right? You can't say that, right? Like this dude already deleted the things that he said, which were more than you were expecting to be said. But like, you can't say David Zaslav cut our budget. You can't say that. He's the EVP of Adult Swim, can't say who fucked them over. The fact that he said anything is like grounds for dismissal based on his contract, probably. So the fact that he already said, like, the fact that he didn't just not say anything or take full responsibility and be like, I stand, like, oh, I don't know, or like denial, which is what other people would do in that case, and go, I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone's excited about it. Episode 2 did so well, and people are so psyched for the series. Like, what? Quality? It's great. You'll love episode 3. Instead of just being like, yeah, we knew ahead of time that people were going to be fucking pissed off, is more than you would expect to get. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's Adult Swim as a whole, if it's Warner Brothers, Discovery, I can't tell you, you know? Couldn't tell you. I will say that the last person to talk about Uzumaki before the teaser came out this summer, was Jason DeMarco. Like 3 years ago, he like replied to someone saying, we're going to be able to show more in December. And then nothing came of it. And that was pre-pandemic. Or no, that was after. It was a year after the pandemic. He was like, December of 2021, we'll talk about some shit. We'll have more to say. And then they didn't have more to say. But yeah, that's an update because I know a lot of people are like, hey, what the fuck happened here? And it seems like production got really fucked. Is what it sounds like. Again, this is from the EVP in reply to someone on Blue Sky that was then deleted. So we'll see. I got an update on a previous story. You know at this point that Humble Games, the publishing arm of The Humble Bundle folks, who are owned by Ziff Davis and are under the umbrella of IGN, but according to other reporting, do not directly. The IGN owns them because the group makes sense because they're the game group, but it's just controlled by Ziff Davis. Anyway, you may remember that Humble Games, Humble basically laid off everyone on Humble Games, the publisher. Like the entire team got laid off. And they were like, we're going to work with third parties or a secondary party to control all this. And then there was talk that like they didn't understand what it meant to be an indie publisher. They didn't understand, like, they were looking at it like they were looking at magazine money. Like, it just didn't make any sense. They didn't want it. They wanted the Humble store more than they wanted the Humble Games publisher. They wanted a storefront that made money and also people are excited to use and do use because of its easy way to for charitable organizations and all that people like and respect Humble Bundle, and they wanted that. Just wanted that. And then the publishing was the thing they weren't super interested in, and then laid everybody off. Well, there's a new kid on the block. Name Good Games Group, GGG. Good Games Group are here, and Good Games Group has signed a deal with Humble Games to publish Humble Games, to publish the games that from Humble. Basically, what they used to do with their former employees. And who is Good Games Group? Good Games Group was founded by ex-general manager of Humble Games, Alan Patmore, and former global publisher VP of Humble Games, Mark Nash. So basically, not all, but a lot of the people that were laid off by Humble Games formed a new company to partner with Humble Games. They could have just let them become an independent company instead of doing all this. Because, like, the idea that they laid all these people off, 36 people, they laid off 36 people, and they were like, oh, this will have no impact. And then they started working with the Powell Group, which is a third-party consulting company, to kind of pick up the thing. And then indie developers that had upcoming games were told everything's going to be cool. We're working on this. We're going to figure this out. People who had games that already came out that were published by Humble Games were told, oh, yeah, we don't know a bunch of stuff right now, so we're pausing a lot of things while we figure it out. And that also means that you can't update your game. Like, they couldn't make updates to the games that had already come out. And also, no independent developer who had a deal with their publisher knew about the layoffs as they were coming, or also who to contact. So this is the partnership. This is what's happening. Good Games Group. Good Games partnered with the Humble Bundle, a new indie publishing company headed by former leaders, to fully support previously released titles. So that's the caveat. That's the part I should have said is we don't know if they're going to be working with other games that Humble already has contracts with, or if that's going to third party. But basically, because they already have connections with all of these all of these teams and projects, they're just helping to manage those. So like now, if you had a game there, you can have an update. Partnering with Ziff Davis allows us to continue working with amazing indie developers. We collaborated with the Humble Games while also allowing us to chart a new course for future. So they're also going to be publishing other things besides managing a portfolio. Basically, it's just what they could have done if they let those people become their separate entity and just made a deal with them. And they didn't do that. But people getting work is great. It's great that there is another indie publisher out there. It's great for the developers that were put in a lurch because of this sudden complete closure and layoffs. And yeah, hopefully everything will work out. But Jesus fucking Christ, it did not have to go like that. It did not have to be. It did not have to be that kind of bullshit, right? Like, yeah, they could have done it a different way. But good on them. That was an update I was happy to read. Oh, speaking of updates, it looks like I got a Windows update coming in, which I do not care about right now. Here's a fun thing. There's a new card game on Kickstarter. Let me see here real quick. Let me see how they're doing on it. See. They have hit their goal. I cannot tell you about the quality or anything about the production of Trombone Champ, the card game, a game of trombones, baboons, and hot dogs, except that they have hit their, honestly, very small amount of money, $7,454, because they were raising money in Canadian dollars here, but translated. They had a $10,000 Canadian goal. And they hit it with 125 backers. Not a lot of backers. This really feels like this is a pre-order Kickstarter. Like they're expecting to raise more money as they go with people using it like a pre-order system, which is why the number is so low. The number is low so they can hit it and they can pay off some stuff is my guess. But it is a card battler based on Trombone Champ, which is weird. 52 tromboner cards. That's what they're called. Tromboner cards. 52 tromboner cards. 28 toot tokens. 36 oversized song cards. 12 hot dog tokens and 1 baboon meeple. Speaking of card games, you interested in the new Gundam TCG, Pat? Asks Regizzle. And Laura Crash says it could be a proof of demand based on how much it raises. Yeah, my assumption is that this is just a way for them to do pre-orders and get the word out about it, because it is such a low number. And people have done that certainly before. So, Regizzle, yes and no. On the one hand, I love Gundam, and I love Gundam shit. On the other hand, I am not interested in physical trading card games because you have to buy cards and then have cards and then go to a place with other people where they're at to then play that card game. And I can't do that anymore. I just can't and won't do that anymore. So I'm kind of not interested in any trading card game that is not a digital trading card game. Like any physical card game, I have next to no interest in just because of buying them doesn't make any sense to me. And then my other issue, I mentioned this a bit last night as well, but it's okay because I didn't talk about it on this stream. My other issue is the history of Bandai not supporting Gundam things for that long that aren't an anime or model kits. Like the video games, right? Like Gundam Evolution. Gundam Evolution getting basically abandoned so fucking quickly, like ridiculously quickly, makes me go like, well, I certainly wouldn't want to spend a bunch of money on cards to find out that they're done after 6 months. Shout outs to my friends that got really, obviously different company, but shout outs to my friends who got really into the Transformers trading card game, which then just completely fell the fuck apart. And I bought those cards for like nothing. I bought a booster pack of those cards for no money at all to open them on stream. But yeah, so sorry to be negative, but just being honest, if they announced a Gundam digital trading card game, I would probably be more interested than what they've currently announced. Because, yeah, I just can't do physical cards these days. Or any days. I learned that the hard way. I learned that honestly, I learned that early on in Magic the fucking Gathering because my friends were into Magic the fucking Gathering. We're playing Magic the Gathering, everybody. We're going to do this. We're making this happen. We're all going to buy cards and decks and get really into it, and we're going to watch we're going to watch this VHS tape that someone was trading around of people playing the game so we can learn more about it. There's a fan-made thing explaining like tips and tricks and all that, and we're going to watch that, and we're all going to get super into Magic the fucking Gathering. Yes, Magic the fucking Gathering. And do you know what happened with Magic the fucking Gathering? Fucking is in parentheses. My friends stopped being interested in Magic the fucking Gathering, and I bought a lot of cards. I built some decks in Magic the Gathering, and my friends found out they really just liked hanging out and talking about Magic the Gathering and not really playing it. You know, we actually legitimately got into the Game Boy Color and later Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh games, because the Yu-Gi-Oh cartridge games, they started doing a thing where one year it would be like the official rule set, and then they would do a game that was like weird rules. So we would just all buy the same official rule set and play the game nonstop to unlock the cards we needed, and then build decks and then play each other. And that's how we played Duel Monsters. And that's what we all really got into, because turns out that's what we wanted to do, was play on our Game Boys some fucking cards and not buy a bunch of stuff. Turns out, which was really annoying. I also found out that I don't play any gacha games, and I don't play any physical trading card games, because turns out I want to just keep buying stuff, and I have to be very cool about that and very focused on that. Otherwise, I will spend money, a lot of money, on shit that I don't need, and I don't want to do that. So instead of doing that, I don't do that. On Saturday's stream, while it is happening, will have begun, we will talk about Wrestle Dream during my Saturday stream, which is this Saturday. I will just quickly, without talking about any of the matches, I'm going to run down this card. My apologies if I will spoil some matches that will be announced tomorrow night on Rampage, but I'm still just going to go through the card. The only pre-show match, there will be more. The only pre-show match currently announced is Atlas Jr., who is the ROH World Television Champion, versus Brian Cage. Atlas Jr. is going to retain. They love their partnership with CMLL. They want to keep a belt on someone. That person they will keep it on is Atlas Jr. Mark Briscoe versus Chris Jericho for the ROH World Championship on the main card. I am worried about Chris Jericho winning this match, but I'm hoping that Mark Briscoe, I just want Mark Briscoe to retain. I don't want Chris Jericho to be Ring of Honor champion again. And I think this is a weird deal. I think having Chris go from Orange Cassidy to Mark Briscoe is bizarre. I don't like it. But yeah, that's my hope anyway. Darby Allin versus Brody King. This is Darby Allin's redemption or make good from the fact that he was supposed to have a match with Bryan Danielson in his home state, and he doesn't. So instead, he'll beat Brody King and get some of that like build momentum back. I'd rather Brody win because it's more interesting, but I think Darby's going to pull it out. Jack Perry will retain his AEW TNT Championship against Katsuyori Shibata. I think Tony Khan loves having Shibata in the company. I don't think Tony Khan wants to put anything more than a Ring of Honor title on Shibata, which is a shame. But I think they'll put together a good match, and Shibata will look good in defeat. Let's see. I need E. Here's E. Oh, I already pulled that E. I don't need it because I already got it. Will Ospreay will defend his international championship against Ricochet and Konosuke Takeshita. Why is this a triple threat, Pat? Well, it's a triple threat so that Takeshita can beat Ricochet. Does that kill Ricochet's momentum? Yes. Do I think that also possibly Will Ospreay is going to retain? Maybe. But I think Will Ospreay loses because of Kyle Fletcher. And then we get a personal Kyle Fletcher-Will Ospreay feud. But I think if they want Takeshita to be something in the next couple of years, he has to start winning big matches. And I think this is the first big match. But it protects, and then we get the one-on-one after that, where there's also more shenanigans and all that. Because they seem to be people that like to add shenanigans. I need A10, I need A41 and A39. 41 and 39. Got these. It's these two. 139. Great. Try to get this quickly here. The Young Bucks, Matthew Jackson and Nick Jackson versus Private Party for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. I so fucking want this to be Private Party. I think it'll be a weird build if it is Private Party, but I am so sick of the Bucks. They have go home heat with me. They don't have good heat with me. I want them to lose and to go and take a long time off. I think they're going to retain. I think, honestly, the international title is the only title that's going to change hands. I think it's going to be a one title change. Because also Mariah May is going to retain against Willow Nightingale. Look, there's a chance that we could get Mina coming in to help Willow. There's a chance, but more likely she'd come in to help Mariah. There's also a chance that we could get Tony Storm to return and cost Mariah May. But it's so soon into her being champion. I don't think that's happening. Hangman Adam Page versus Jay White. Hangman Adam Page wins. There's just no other option. His momentum, it's still there. Jay White has a reason for the beef. It's going to be a killer match. Jay White is still a heel in a face in a heel stable. But he's a face because people like him, not because he's a good guy. So I don't know. That match is going to bang, but it's not going to be that. In a match that should be a 0-hour match or a main event, a collision, and not on a pay-per-view, but my boys are getting a fucking pay-per-view check, so I can't be mad. Decided on Rampage, so spoilers. MXM Collection, Mansoor and Mason Madden are taking on the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, and apparently they will say that they have someone in their corner who is going to help them make sure that Daddy Magic doesn't cheat. Not Daddy Magic, what I'm saying. Daddy Ass doesn't cheat. Too many daddies. They're going to make sure that there's no foul play in there. I don't know who that's going to be, but I'm excited to find out who that is. Somewhere in this night, because they're in Washington, because we haven't seen them, Swerve is going to show up, and so that might also mean that Bobby Lashley is going to show up in AEW. It'll be a fucking thing. Who knows? The Hurt Syndicate is running wild, brother. I need N. Here's N. Hologram versus the Beast Mortos in a 2 out of 3 falls that I could see opening the show because it'll be cool as hell. This also feels like a main event or a pre-show, a 0-hour match. This will be Hologram's first pay-per-view. He is undefeated. I don't even think he loses one of these 3 falls. I think he wins both of them back to back. I think Mortos will make himself look good and Hologram looking fucking fantastic. Mortos is in a faction, and now it'll just lead to faction wars, and Hologram will have to build a stable of boys to help him out. I don't know who will be in that, but he'll need backup. This is going to lead to Hologram's eventual loss, which I am predicting now. That eventual loss will be Roosh, because Roosh does not lose that often, and I don't think that Roosh is going to put Hologram over. I think Roosh is going to fucking politic, and he'll win via dirty methods. That's my big guess down the road. Hologram Vortos is the match that most interests me, but I think I'm skipping Wrestle Dream. Lastbrook, I'll be here. So I'm also skipping Wrestle Dream. I'm going to watch it later, way after the fact. Main event, Bryan Danielson defends the AEW World Championship against Jon Moxley with Marina Shafir and probably more other members of the Blackpool Combat Club. So, my brain says that Jon Moxley should not lose a match this soon into the reformation of a stable he is in. But my heart says that when Bryan Danielson loses this belt, he will end his full-time career and he will begin the road to retirement, if not actually retiring, although we semi-retired and he'll probably come back and blah, blah, blah. But this is the end of the run. And my heart says that in Washington State, against a man who gains fucking nothing for ending Bryan Danielson's career, Jon Moxley is already been world champ in 2 companies. He does not fucking need to be a guy that retires someone like Bryan Danielson. It is meaningless. Bryan Danielson should go out on his back for someone that it would fucking really benefit for doing that, and I do not believe that is the case, that is fucking Jon Moxley. So I am saying, it is my opinion. I'm sorry, I have a mosquito flying around here. Did I kill it? I don't know if I got it. My apologies. I am saying for my heart, and my heart speaking first, that I am predicting that Bryan Danielson retain his title, and Bryan Danielson will keep his title until Wrestle Dynasty in January in Japan. And Bryan Danielson will retire from wrestling by losing to one of 2 men in Japan. Konosuke Takeshita or possibly Okada. Does Okada need to beat Bryan Danielson? No. Should he beat Bryan Danielson? Yes. Takeshita being Bryan Danielson means the world. For the world belt, I think that's fucking perfect. Now, my heart, deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. I actually want it to be Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia tapping out Bryan Danielson in Japan to win the world title. That shit's not going to happen, but that's the shit I want to happen. That's my pie in the sky. Damn, I banned another one. Jeez. The spammers are out there being spammy. Anyway, again, I fucking hope that this Jon Moxley does not beat Bryan Danielson for the world title. I hope that at best, this Jon Moxley was inspired by a movie about a real life person who was a neo-Nazi in Australia. At best, this character that Jon Moxley is playing is inspired by a movie where the main character happens to be a fucking neo-Nazi. Am I saying that this version of BCC is a Nazi, is a neo-Nazi group? No. I'm saying they fucking dress like they are. And they fucking act like they are. And the boss of the group is literally quoting things from a movie about a neo-Nazi group. I'm saying that shit. But do I think that John Moxley is like, I am very excited to play this gimmick where I am part of a neo-Nazi group? I don't think that. I think they just fucked up. I think John Moxley has wrestle brain, and he's very excited about this character. He's like, I'm pulling from this Russell Crowe character. This is going to be fucking sick. And no one stopped to go, which character? What character are you? Wait, what? Wait, what? John, what? No one has said that, apparently. Apparently, no one has said that. The marina of it all, the fact that their second target is bullying a member of the group that is half Japanese, the gear, the attitude, I don't fucking like any of it. I don't like any of it. I hate that. I can't believe there is a fucking faction that involves Pac that I don't like. That's what they've done to me with this. They've created a faction with Pac in it that I look at and go, ugh. Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable scenes. Anyway, I'm not going to watch that live. I will watch it after the fact. I will probably watch the 0 hour. I am guessing that Camille versus Chris Statlander will get added to the 0 hour because right now there are only 2 women wrestling on that show, and usually there are 4. So my guess is Chris Statlander versus Camille will be on this pay-per-view, and the next pay-per-view will be Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné. That's my guess. I don't know. Anyway, now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support the channel. What a fucking crazy transition, Pat. What are we doing? Anyway, hi. Welcome to this screen. Everything I'm about to talk about here is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. If you would like to do it, I would love that. Your support would be great. You are certainly do not have to do this, but if you wanted to, you certainly could. First things first, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I'm doing here. But also, you could gift a sub to somebody in the community. There have been 0 gifted subs in the month of October so far. So if you want to gift a sub, you can do that. Bits and coins always appreciated. If you have Twitch, you're here on Twitch, right? You already got an account on Twitch. If you have Amazon linked with your Twitch, you get this token you can use for somebody every month. And if you want to use it for me, your friend Pat, that would be great. I would love it. I would love that. You don't have to, but I would love it. Now, there are other ways to support what I do here, and I'm going to talk about a bunch of them. I do want to just delete this thing. Great, got rid of that. Okay. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider, if you will, joining me on Patreon. It would be rad. I think it would be neat. A neat thing that you could do. I also have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over my YouTube channel, it's very easy to subscribe because subscribing is free, and I would like it if you would. And while you're over there, you could, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and become a member if you want to do that. Memberships are $2 a month. If you're a member, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you'll know before other people what my weekly Wednesday video is, which would be nice. More on that video later. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you just want to once in a while, hit the old tip jar, you can make a direct donation to my Ko-Fi or my PayPal. And everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And out of that fund, I take money out to buy model kits. The Sword Impulse Gundam that I am currently working on, this bad boy right here. I am able to work on that kit because of your generosity. I was able to purchase that kit, and now I'm building it, which is awesome. So past you has helped out present me. Now, I have a backlog of stuff. I just got a few new things in the mail that are pretty fucking cool, and I'm looking forward to building them. And you could have a say in what I build, because if you buy something from my Amazon wish list, it jumps the queue. I also make a dedicated video about it for my YouTube, but most importantly, it becomes the next thing I build, because that's the least I could do. If you're going to go ahead and buy something, I should build it. I got Lego sets. I got model kits. I have inexpensive kits. I have expensive kits. Kits that are, prime shipping, kits that are, pay for extra shipping and all that. I recently added 2 things I want to highlight to my Amazon wish list. One is, there is a company called, let me look it up, City Global. City Global makes fake-ass Lego sets, and this one is a off-roader that comes with that says is compatible with Lego. So they're trying to tell me that this Lego, you could use this with regular Lego. And also it comes with a bear, and a snake. So I put that on there. The pack, I hope to God, the box says WOW on it. I hope to God that if someone picks this up, that the box I get also says WOW on it, because that's hilarious. So I added that to my wish list because I do like building fake Lego, knockoff Lego. And the other thing I recently added to my list is, this is not the first one of these, and there are a bunch of them. This is sushi shrimp version 1-to-1 scale model kit is now on my wish list. This is a piece of sushi under a ball of sushi rice. And it is a model kit. It is a 1-to-1 scale model kit. Not since Cup Noodle has there been a 1-to-1 scale of something that I went, ooh, I'd build that. There is going to be an onigiri that's coming out this year that will be more involved. This one is just a ball of rice, like sushi rice, like a patted sushi rice, and then a shrimp over it. There's also one there's a piece of fish, but I thought the shrimp was better looking. I added that to my wish list. If you want to buy something for me to build that's fucking silly, I feel silly. Also, something that involves lots of tiny grains of rice plastics that might drive me insane. Maybe it will. That's on my wish list. You could buy that. I also have a Throne wish list because that's my alternative to Amazon, because it's nice to have alternatives to Amazon. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially, if you are so inclined, is you could go, if you wanted to USA Gundam Store and buy a gift card. And then they'll send you an email with that gift card code. Then you take that gift card code, copy and paste it to me, and send it to me in a whisper here on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter, or a private chat on Blue Sky, or a private mention on Mastodon, and I will take that, and I will, of course, build something from USA Gundam Store. Regizzle says, surely it would be easier to make actual sushi at this point. I would say it would certainly be easier for me to put together sushi than make a sushi model kit. Yes. But I don't do cooking streams anymore, so model kits it is. Someday I will do a cooking stream again. It's just the last time I did a cooking stream, it was poorly attended, and it's so much goddamn work. Yes, I will eat the thing that I made, and so I am just making a meal or two for myself. But to take my setup and rebuild it in my kitchen, and also not have my, like, not be able to use my kitchen properly because I am cooking in there, is so much goddamn work that I don't want to do it again. But I will. I have to build up my general Tuesday viewership to justify it, because it's not enough to bring in new people, it seems like. So someday I will do cooking stream again, because I've been asked that. I actually, spoilers for one of my next Q&As. I did get asked that. Cooking. I did get asked about that, so I will give a better answer for my patrons. Anyway, if you want to support me and not spend any money, I got a Discord. You can come hang out in the Discord. It'd be nice. We'd love to have you in the Discord. Hey, I will have a new episode up on Monday, but currently, my most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club is my summer recap and my fall preview. The fall anime season is in swing. There are many shows to watch on many different situations there. Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, of course, High Dive, a bunch of stuff, bunch of places you can watch some things, and maybe you want to check it out. But I talked about a bunch of things on there. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. This week, I've been this whole month, I'm going to be talking about my favorite shows from last season, the summer season. And so I talked about Dungeon People. And thankfully, people watched this one because, for whatever reason, last week's video didn't get views. And this one is getting some views, the short of it. Dungeon People is a fantastic show on High Dive. It is somewhat cozy until it's not cozy. And I think it's real good. And you should check it out. Or at least watch my 1-minute video talking about it. And yes, I have heard that shorts are going to be able to be up to 3 minutes long. I will still probably keep my videos to a minute because it's nice to be concise. And also, YouTube won't say when that's going to happen. It's a rollout. So I don't want to make a 2.5-minute video and go to upload it and find out I can't upload it as a short. And then next week I could have. So I'm just going to keep them to a minute for now. 55 seconds or less. And then I'll find out later if I need to change things up. All right. Now it's the part of the stream where I am going to drink some water. And we're going to go back to the overhead camera and keep working. I'm going to talk about a manga that I have been reading and kind of enjoying. And then also, but we'll talk about why I'm wishy-washy on that. And then we'll also talk about a anime that I watched the first episode of that I might keep watching. I'm not sure, but we'll talk about that. So let's go and do that right now. All right. So, let's talk about the manga. A Livid Lady's Guide to Getting Even. How I Crushed My Homeland with My Mighty Grimoires. So this is obviously part of the kicked genre or the banished genre. This is a main character who was doing what they were doing things well. In this case, everybody understood that they were fucking awesome. But through treachery, they have been betrayed. And now they're going to get even. Now it's time for revenge. So our girl, Elizabeth, she's engaged to the crown prince. Her father is of high standing. She's of high standing. She has the power of a grimoire that allows her to be brilliant and make tactical decisions. And apparently the crown prince has fallen in love with someone else and has always been shitty, but now is acting really shitty. And he annuls the engagement and makes a bunch of accusations. And our main character is arrested and thrown in prison or a cell. And she understands she's gonna get released, or she feels like, well, they would be stupid because I basically do the work of the prime minister, But it turns out that in order to save face, the crown prince was definitely wrong, but the king decides, well, we're just going to go ahead with this. But we'll survive. We'll figure it out. You know, we won't kill her, but we'll like just have to keep her in prison for a while, and then we'll like quietly make this go away. But I can't say that the crown prince was wrong. So realizing that they are not going to side with her, our girl basically says, well, fuck this. I'm glad I kept a bunch of secrets. Her grimoire is actually several grimoire. She is incredibly overpowered. She can do a bunch of magic. And so she escapes. And she happens to make acquaintances with a viscount from a neighboring country, Lucas. And Lucas is like, okay, you're someone special. What's going on? And she's just like, I'm defecting. Would your country be interested? And he's like, oh, he's like, all right, well, let me start a business and I'll prove to you how valuable I am to this country. And then the first book, the first like five chapters is her starting a new life, dealing with making cosmetics. She had to give up her former job, but apparently she like told all the major employees to quit and come to this country. So they she has a workforce ready for her and her investments and all that. So she's already ahead of the game on that. And she knows how to build up her brand. She's building up a thing. She's making progress. She gets some help. She gets an assistant and to work for her, and she gets like a young apprentice. She's got her maid who is like an assassin maid, of course, doing work and doing all that, and things are going really great. Now, the thing I need you to understand is that if I had reviewed this or talked about this manga after only reading like 5 or 6 chapters, I would have been like, oh, living well is the best revenge. That's the kind of show we're dealing with, or the kind of book we're dealing with. Like, she's living well, she's living her best life, she's making it happen. Their country's going to collapse, and without her there to run it, the prince is a fucking dumbass. This is all going to go well. Harold's rating. Welcome, Harold. I'm talking about a manga that I've been reading called A Livid Lady's Guide to Getting Even, How I Crushed My Homeland with My Mighty Grimoires. Is a fantasy revenge story, because that's the thing, everybody. This is not a nice book. Shit gets fucking dark. Now, part of that is, in order to like make a good place for himself, the prince breaks a bunch of laws and fucks over another country because he wants to have a bunch of victories and take credit for an operation. And our lady Elizabeth gets involved in that shit. We get introduced to some other cool characters in that as well, but it's mostly about Elizabeth being a fucking monster. The main thing is, shit gets fucked. Volume 3. I have read 3 volumes of this. Volume 3 takes a dark turn. Our main character is the revenge she's seeking, which is, in my opinion, fully and wholly justified because of what they did to her, is justified that she should get revenge. But apparently the revenge she's looking for is complete and utter destruction of that country. She does not care about citizens getting hurt. She does not care about people who were not directly involved. She is not trying to kill she is trying to destroy everyone, including her own family that betrayed her, by making nice and not defending her against the king and all that. Our girl is just trying to wreck shop. The third book is fucking dark. It goes dark places and is messed up. And not for the faint of heart. And I was getting the vibe that, oh, hey, this isn't going to turn out cool and chill. but it was still like pretty gradual. I would say I would not call a Livid Lady's Guide to Getting Even a bait and switch, but I do think that it would have been nice if the first volume had her monologue a little bit about what she wanted to do or how things were going to go, because it seemed more fun than it is. It's still it's still well written, well produced. I still like reading it, but it's way darker than I would have expected. And I was pretty goddamn surprised with where this motherfucking thing went. So, I don't know, y'all. I would say A Livid Lady's Guide to Getting Even, How I Crushed My Homeland with My Mighty Grimoires is good, but like, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It is a tough recommendation. But yeah, I don't know. If you were looking for a revenge tale, it's a slow moving revenge tale at first, and then it picks up pace. If you were looking for another fun, banished story where a character overcomes adversity, this one is not that. This one's dark as hell. Again, yes, as a friend of mine said, oh shit, this one's really about revenge, huh? Because we were reading at the same time. All right, now I'm going to talk about an anime, kind of give you the episode 1 recap of a show that I'm not sure if I'm going to continue. I think I'll probably watch, I should say, the second episode, which came out this week. I haven't watched it yet, but I watched the first episode of I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down in History, because I like it. I like it a lot. This is an isekai. There are not a lot of isekai this season. That'll be my video on Monday for Pat Bear's Anime Club. We'll be talking about all the isekai and if I'm watching them or not. I'm watching this one. Oh wait. Yeah, okay. I'll Become a Villainess. It's on Crunchyroll. So basically, our girl, Alicia Williams, she's 7 years old. She's born into a family of dark magic users. She's a bit of a brat, but not like a super brat. She's just like 7 years old. And, she's got a bunch of older brothers. I think it's 3 older brothers, if I want to say. And she is just like kind of lazy and kind of doesn't give a shit about what's going on. And isn't like fully herself yet because she's a reincarnation. This is an otome game. And one day around age 7, Alicia is just like, oh wait, this is a romance game I used to play. And I always thought the Villainess was pretty cool. And I'm the Villainess. Someday I'll grow up to be the Villainess. This fucking whips ass. This is awesome. I'm going to be such a cool Villainess in this story. I can't believe it. I'm so psyched. Now, we don't know a lot about any parts of her what her life was like, how she died. We might get that. That might have been cut from like the light novel, or it's in the light novels and cut from the anime. We might find out later. All we really know is she got her memories back. She liked this game and she liked the villain. And again, we don't really know too much more about it. She's determined to be a villainess. Now, a lot of times in these stories, oh no, I'm the villainess, or like, all routes lead to doom, or I'm the villainess and I'm going to die, whatever. They go out of their way to try to be a nice person, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Like, which I've enjoyed that. In this case, our girl wants to be a villainess, and people are not taking her seriously. She wants to have a reputation and gain knowledge of the world and gain strength. So she starts acting more polite to get what she wants. And she starts going to the library to study and doing self-study. And then she also wants to learn swordsmanship from her brothers. And that's apparently very cute. They think she's being very cute by asking. Albert, who kind of takes her seriously a little bit, is just like, all right, well, you got to get in good shape. So if you can do 50 sit-ups and 50 push-ups every day for a week, I'll train you. And she does. She does do it. And this is where we start to see that, she's kind of too pure-hearted. Like, she likes villainous characters, but she's probably not going to be able to pull this off. And you start to feel get the sense that, wait, is this a story of a girl who's going to, by trying to be the villain, end up being the heroine of the story? And that's what it's feeling like to me from this episode. She trains, and then she goes, okay, I've done this thing. Tell me what's going on. And there are a bunch of boys who are around her age with her brothers when she goes to do this. And they apparently are all dead ends. These are all like, all these dudes would lead to like a bad ending for her. Including Duke Seeker. That's right. They named the crown prince Duke. Duke is, he's like the happy ending. He's like what you would want the heroine to end up with. So, in a scene that's actually fucking pretty cool, our girl Alicia, when the brother's still like, oh yeah, you really did 50 sit-ups, 50 push-ups, sure, whatever. She takes a sword as a 7-year-old, kicks a tree so an apple falls out of it, and then slices the apple in midair. And then people are like, oh, okay. So apparently, his brother Albert is going to teach her swordsmanship. And we don't really see that happen over the course of a year. We find out that she's been training and growing. And then also apparently, Duke has been visiting her a lot over this year, because he seems to be interested in her. And so the other boys, the other capture targets in the Otome game also are paying attention to her. And in fact, her 8th birthday, because she has been asked because the crown prince has been spending so much time visiting her, the king comes. And then the king asked her some questions about politics to get her opinion, because apparently word is out that she is like pretty fucking smart for a now 8-year-old. So the king's just like, yeah, I got some questions. Now, apparently Alicia thinks this is a test to see like if she's a villain or not. So she tries to outline a plan to improve the country's economics. But like any good villainess, it's a villainous plan. And it would take advantage of other countries. So it would benefit them benefit us, this country, while also negatively impacting other countries. Ha 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 ha. And the king's just like, damn, all right. She gets a present for her birthday. Everything's nice. And then we kind of shift to the kind of Otome plot, because it looks like our girl hasn't really changed things too much so far, except maybe it'll be tough for the heroine to meet up with the prince if she's, if he's spending all his time with our girl. So apparently the golden rose has been found. So this is like the plot elements here. There are 2 roses, a golden rose and a blue rose. A magical blue rose, and basically you've got a hero and the saint. And the hero, or the saint, is figured out that the saint has been born, and that was in some remote village. And we already know that probably the prince is our prince boy is probably the hero that will help out the saintess in times of trouble. because that bloomed on the day of the Duke's birth, the prince. Um, so apparently, the saint and the hero will defeat something or other. And now, of course, our girl would be trying to stop that as the villainess. But will she? We don't know. And that's pretty much that episode. We're probably going to meet our episode 2. I imagine we will meet our girl, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Our heroine, because our girl is, of course, Alicia. So, what do I think about that? Oh, she's the Black Rose. There was a Black Rose that was born. We can kind of make conjecture about that. This feels like a shoujo. It feels like a romance series. It looks pretty damn good. This is Studio Dean. I have had bad luck with Studio Dean shows this year, but those shows were Studio Dean partnering with another studio. Those seem to be really bad. This is Studio Dean on their own. They are prolific in what I call good enough, and this looks good enough. I don't know if it's going to be great. I will give this at least one more episode. I would like to see more examples of her trying to be a villainess, and I want to see people's reactions to it and see if they're just never going to take her seriously, or she's just too good at being nice, or what, or people will misunderstand her villainry, or if she is an actual villain, and we are going to see her go down a dark path just because she likes the character that she now embodies. I don't know how it goes, but I'm interested to see. I think this is a pretty solid anime. If you were looking to pick up an isekai from this season, I don't know if this is the one, but this is one I'm going to be watching, so I can at least tell you that. I don't know if I can recommend it yet after one episode, but I'll let you know. I will definitely probably talk next week. I am still not sure. Here's what I can tell you. I am going to talk about Dan to Dan every Saturday, because again, Thursdays are tough for me, so I haven't watched the episode yet, but I will watch it for Saturday. I'm going to talk about Dan to Dan. I might be talking weekly about Ranma 1/2. Beyond that, I am not sure what I am going to do. I just don't know what other shows I will be reviewing on a weekly basis. I know I'm not going to watch. There's a bunch of stuff I know I'm not going to watch, honestly. That's kind of where I'm at. There's just a bunch of stuff I know I'm not interested in. But beyond that, I'm not really sure. And there's some stuff that I know I'm watching, but I'm not going to cover week to week. I'm not going to cover ReZero week to week. I'm already pretty sure I'm not going to keep watching Loner in Another World, Loner Life in Another World, because I forgot how slow it is. So I'm probably not going to end up watching that one all the way through. Or if I am, I'm not going to watch it weekly and cover it. So yeah, I don't know. There must be something else I will watch weekly. Because Ranma 1/2 feels odd to watch because it is a remake. And I'm am I just going to keep talking about the good and bad of the remake? I'm I guess I could do that. Anyway, we finished the top half of this kit, which is kind of surprising. This kit's coming together. I don't think I'm going to finish it on Saturday because I still have to do the waist connector, the legs, the weapons. But I think I'll finish it during Monday's stream is my guess. That's my guess anyway. Well, actually, I don't even know if this thing fully transforms without another piece, right? Maybe it does. Yeah, it just fits together. Oh, it has a 2 different parts transformation. I think that's what it is. We'll see. Yes, Vegan Fart Man says, so far the father doesn't smoke like he did in the OG. Yeah, so far we have not seen him smoking. There are some changes in Ranma 1/2. They seem to be pretty mild. They seem to just be I don't know. I'm interested in finding out what shampoo is going to be like. That to me is an interesting thing. How do they handle the shampoo character? Because at the time, I don't remember it being weird, but it probably is a little, that character probably is not particularly nice. Yeah, I mean, like, there are going to be some modern things. I don't think this remake is going to be like Orphan, where they just did it again with no updates, or Shaman King, where they just did it again with no updates. I think this would probably be a little bit more like Urusei Yatsura, where they did do some minor tweaks. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I think that's a big question. Is how horny is it going to be? Are they going to turn down the horniness and the thievery, the horny thievery? Because I don't know. I have no idea if they're going to turn that shit down or not. They might decide that they want to tone down some of the creep factor. But I don't know. It is a good thing to remind ourselves that when we are talking about remakes run a fine line. Remakes have to make a decision. Is this a souped up, nice looking, shot for shot remake for old fans? Or is this attempting to be its own thing, like a thing for a new generation, a new approach, a new look? It can kind of be both. Also, a question to answer is this trying to remedy mistakes of the past? Mistake might be the wrong word, but sometimes anime adaptations bum people out. Super fans get bummed out, or there are people who are like, Fruits Basket never really finished. Some of the choices were a little weird. Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 remake of Hunter x Hunter of the 99, was like, well, there's more anime of it, and we can make some changes because now we have hindsight about a bunch of things. Were every change good? No. Were some of the changes good? Yeah. Were some moments in Hunter x Hunter 99 change that were like kind of a fucking bummer because those other scenes were dope as shit? Yeah. But like overall, I think 11 is pretty solid. As someone who's pushing for a touched up Fist of the North Star right now, a sequel to GX. Yeah. Like, sometimes they're tough, right? Like, sometimes the reimaginings and remakes don't actually honor the source material, or they're too focused on the source material. That's just my opinion. But if they're made with love and they're like trying to introduce you to a new generation, I think that's cool. Like I've always said, the remake that I want is Flame of Recca, because Flame of Recca just kind of ends with a bullshit ending because they knew they weren't going to be able to do any more of it. So they just like created an ending that was not at all like the fucking manga. They just made up a thing because they wanted to have some kind of conclusion, and it's rough. It's a rough way to go. It's a bummer. So like I would love a modern, high def, gorgeous looking digital anime of Flame of Recca. And I think you could modernize it a bit, but I would love that. I would love a cool version of Recca. That's my pie in the sky remake. It wouldn't make any sense to do, but I would love that. You're pushing for more of a break from isekai anime and more mecha anime. Yeah, I mean, like, I just want more mecha anime that interests me, honestly. Like, there have been a few things here and there, but a lot of the mecha stuff that's been coming out just hasn't, because it's like, I don't know, it's just like the stories just haven't really hit me, or the designs haven't piqued my interest. So I would be hopeful for some more mecha stuff that does hit my personal interest. Dirty wants me to hit the yeah button. I will hit the yeah button. Thank you for using your channel points so that I can press This button, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see that. I do think that we're going to get, I've been saying this and we're getting them more and more that the banished subgenre, which sometimes are isekai, but don't have to be isekai. Do you think, Takashi said that Ranma gets a second anime before Mao got its first one? No, I don't. I think there are some things that should have had an anime adaptation, but I think everyone is excited that there's a new Ranma. I think that's just so. I don't know. Anime based on the Stray stuff and Crossbones. Yeah, I honestly, Bandai Sunrise doing Gundam stuff that they've already done, like based on stuff they've already done, like manga and that, and some light novels and stuff, like that makes sense. I don't think they will. I think they're interested more in just doing like original. But yeah, I mean, they've already got some of that stuff. It'll be neat. I don't know. But I do think that Banished is a subgenre that is going to become more and more popular because it's been very popular in light novels and manga for a few years now. And sometimes those are isekai and sometimes those aren't. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to see more of the manga stuff, or of the manga and photo book things for Gundam. That just doesn't seem like a thing they're interested in doing, honestly. But who knows? Who actually knows? Yeah, there was a whole thing about like people negatively reacting to Dan because they thought it got weird out of nowhere. And the general consensus is like, please consider the possibility of reading things outside of your comfort zone. Read things that are not just shonen. There's other stuff out there, and you might like a lot of it. Please try. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if... Look, I'm not saying that like, oh, you're a fool if you didn't like Dan. There's a lot of reasons to not like Dan. I think, like content-wise, I think you could just come away from that first episode being like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And I think more people who were talking about how awesome that first episode did not give enough caveats. I think that sometimes we as fans, like, I am not going to use any kind of derogatory terms like Japanese bullshit or anime bullshit, but there is inherently in some stuff, I think we are conditioned sometimes to forget that there are things that people would go, what the fuck? And it's sometimes important to have that discussion to say like, hey, I think the animation is cool. I think this is an interesting story. I think it starts off as like you would expect, like, oh, okay, I know where this is going, and then it doesn't fucking go that way. But also there's some shit that is like understandable if you looked at it and went, this is not cool, this is not what I signed up for, this is not what I want. And I think that is totally reasonable to feel that way. And maybe we should be talking about those things when we talk about when we get hyped for a thing. Like when I think it was Jeff Grubb, somebody I know I follow on Twitter, I think it was Jeff, said, tell me about Turbo Granny. My reply was, shit's fucked, Jeff. And I stand by that. Shit's fucked. I'm not going to tell you about Turbo Granny because shit's fucked. I have stickers that need to go on this kit. And I will apply those stickers on the next stream. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do it later because later is better. Because end of stream stickers go bad for me sometimes. So I'm going to do start of stream stickers. I'll put the 2 stickers on that have to go on here. I'm going to circle this so that I know But I got to do this part here because I'm in two. Who knows if in 2 days I will remember or not, but I hopefully will. Anyway, we got a lot done on this kit. I'm excited to continue working on it. That is going to wrap things up here for the old Kuma Baer workshop for this Thursday evening. We are going to end the stream as we end every stream with a raid. We are going to go find somebody doing cool shit and go give them some time and attention because this party is over, but the partying continues. So I hope you come along on this raid. Let me figure out who that's going to be. Reminder, my next stream is Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll continue to work on the Sword Impulse Gundam. I will be talking about, let me just see who are we going to raid. How long has Patrick been going? Patrick has only been going for 12 minutes. I don't even know how long Patrick is going to go. But Patrick is playing, we got a Spookin' with Scoops with Patrick Klepek. And I have no idea how long this stream will be. But we are going to go hang out with Patrick because that sounds perfect. Because he's playing fucking Friday the 13th, which is a shit video game that has a lot of cool ideas. So we're going to go hang out with Patrick. My next stream is going to be Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I hope you will come and hang out with that as I work on this model kit, talk about wrestling, talk about video games, talking about anime. We'll talk about Dan to Dan, episode 2. Thank you all so much for being here. Hope you come along on this raid. Hope you come hang out with Patrick. This is going to be a good one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.